In this video, we'll be looking at this Arzopa portable monitor. They did provide this for review, but of course it does not affect our opinions in any way. But we'll go ahead and just do a quick overview and then use it for a while and then get back to you on our feedback. So of course this is just the box that it comes in. This is a 16-inch portable monitor in 2K resolution, so quite a bit above 1080 but not quite 4K. It should be very good though, especially given it's just a 16-inch screen. That should be a very good resolution to be working with. The exact model is the Z1RC. But yeah, we'll go ahead and just get into the box here. So the first thing you see here is the monitor itself with some nice plastic wrap on it. Go ahead and put that off to the side for the minute. We do have a USB-C to USB-C cable, which is how most people will be connecting this, I believe. If you have a USB-C laptop, you can just connect this one cable and it should power the display as well as, transmit the actual video. And then we have a USB-C to USB-A cable. I suppose this is for getting power to it if you are using it with the HDMI. We have some manuals, very nice to have, of course. And then we do have a, looks like, mini HDMI to HDMI. So this will be what goes into the monitor, and then this will be what goes into your computer or other device that you're using this with. So nice to have that as well, but you do have a couple of different options here for connecting it. So here's the actual display. It is very thin and lightweight, which is nice. You can see it has a very slim design. We do have a decent sized chin on the bottom here, but the actual display is very light. I would say it weighs maybe a pound, so definitely very portable. It does not come with any kind of carrying case or anything, which kind of surprises me. I would think there would be some way to wrap it over and protect the screen. So it doesn't look like we get anything like that. However, it should be okay. It should fit in a 16-inch laptop sleeve, or if you can just put it in the laptop pocket of your backpack or something, then it should be okay. But I'm a bit surprised it doesn't come with any kind of carrying case or any way to protect the screen, since it is supposed to be, a portable monitor. But getting into this, we can just go ahead and take off this little sticker here. You can see that it does say the features of the monitor. You can see it is IPS, so it's a very nice screen that also has very wide viewing angles. It has HDR, which is great. Again, it is 2560 by 1440, so it is 2K. It is ultra light, as I was saying. It USB Type-C and then supports HDMI as well, and ultra portable, of course, as well, given it is a portable monitor. So it definitely feels very, very nice, as you can see. It is super, super light. As I said, it's like maybe half the weight of a MacBook, so definitely very portable and great to bring with you to a coffee shop, wherever you want an extra display. Looking at the side here, just to get an idea of all the ports and such. On this one side here, we do have the two USB-C ports, so I suppose you can connect it to multiple displays if you wanted to switch between different inputs or such. We also have the mini HDMI port for, of course, connecting it via HDMI if you would like to. But yeah, having these multiple display options is nice, and again, I'm pretty sure you can, connect it to multiple and swap between them if you want to, but we'll look more into that in a minute. On the top here, we do have some buttons, of course. There is the power and back button, some brightness and volume buttons, and then an OSD button, which I'm not sure what that is yet, but I'll get back to you on that. So all the connections and buttons are on that one side. On the bottom here, we have some kind of rubber feet here just for helping support it. And then we do have this nice built-in kickstand, which feels very nice. It comes in and out very slowly, so it definitely feels very high quality there. Ideally, you, again, put it kind of down like this, open up this kickstand, and then it will sit very nicely, which is super nice to have that built in. I've used many other portable monitors that use the sort of folio sort of case, so which protects the screen, which is nice, but you do have to rely on that folio to actually prop up the monitor as well. Having the stand built in is very nice and very convenient, and just overall makes it a lot more portable. So again, I'll go ahead and get this all set up and use it for a while, and then get back to you with my findings. Alright, so we have been using this monitor for a while now, so I'll go ahead and get it set up and show you what it looks like when it's on and all of that. But for the first thing, I just want to show you kind of a size comparison to a 14-inch MacBook Pro. This is a 2023 MacBook Pro, just to give you an idea of the size. It is the 14-inch one, so the 16-inch, of course, will be a bit bigger, but just to give you an idea of the size comparison, we can kind of hold it up here maybe. So I'll go ahead and kind of stack them on top of each other. And this should give you a sort of idea of the size. So you can see the MacBook Pro is, of course, a bit smaller than 16-inch screen. However, they are pretty comparable in size overall. The aspect ratio is a bit different, so that the monitor is a little bit shorter and wider than the screen of the MacBook Pro. So despite this being 16 inches, it is fairly similar in size, at least height-wise, to the MacBook. However, it is, of course, much lighter and thinner. I mentioned earlier it is about a pound. It is, in fact, 1 pound, 12 ounces, so a bit more than a pound, but it's still very light. You can easily kind of, throw it around, throw it in a bag, all that. It's definitely much, much lighter and easier to move around than the MacBook Pro. MacBook Pro is much, much heavier, I would say 2 to 3 times the weight, so Definitely a big difference there. And then in terms of thickness as well, it is about half the thickness, I would say, maybe a little bit more, but definitely very thin and light. So especially considering the quality you get and all that, it is definitely a very portable monitor. So I'm definitely happy with it in that sense. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get it set up here. You can see that we can just kind of turn on the MacBook here, and then we'll go ahead and set up this monitor. So it is as simple as putting up this kind of kickstand. Then we take the USB-C cable. You can take this just as one cable if you are using it with a USB-C laptop. So you can go ahead and plug in the USB-C cable to the MacBook here. And then all you have to do is plug in the other end to the monitor, and it will automatically turn on pretty quickly and just begin displaying as a second monitor for your MacBook. So you can see we'll get that logo here. And then as quickly as that, it is already on. So it is very easy to set up, and you can see that it's very fast to do as well. It does come with the other cables, as I mentioned, so if you want to use it with a game console or something like that, then you will use this HDMI cable. Then you will use a USB-C cable to power it. However, if you are using it with a USB-C device, such as a laptop or an iPad, then it will work with just this one cable. Using it with an iPhone, it will require a cable, so it just depends on the kind of size of the USB-C device you're using it with. However, for the most part, any big USB-C device like a laptop or tablet should just require this one cable in order to get a connection. It's definitely very convenient for moving around with when you just need the monitor and the one cable and you already have a second monitor. In terms of the display quality, I am very, very happy with it, even more than I expected to be. As I said earlier, having 2K resolution in such a small screen means all the pixels are really packed in there. So it is very, very good quality for text and images and everything else. Even if your face is like an inch from the screen, you can't really make out any individual pixels or anything like that. So it is definitely very high resolution, and I would compare it to one of the newest MacBooks. So really couldn't complain in terms of resolution. In terms of the actual display overall, you can see it does have this kind of matte coating on it. So I do have two very bright lights pointing at it right now, so you do have a little bit of reflection, but even compared to the MacBook up here, you can see that it's reflecting way more. So having this matte coating makes it nice if you're working in a coffee shop or something that has some bright lights kind of directly pointing at the screen. As I said, this is an extreme situation, so you do have a bit of glare right now, but these two lights are very bright, so you would never normally have this much light being pointed at it. You can still, however, see this very dark image on the screen. This is at 15% brightness, so I'll go ahead and turn up the brightness to show you that it does get even brighter. So we can go ahead and go into the menus here and then just turn up this brightness, 100% brightness now. So it is quite the difference in my opinion. As you can see, it does get very, very bright, so it does look super good. Even at 16% brightness with two bright lights turning on it, it is more than bright enough to show the image, so definitely very happy with it in that sense. In terms of viewing angles, it's very good as well. You can kind of walk around the monitor and still see the image very clearly from many angles. The colors are very good as well. It has HDR and a lot of depth, so you can really see the colors popping on the monitor as well. And the OSD button I mentioned earlier is for on-screen display, which is essentially for your settings. So pushing that button is what brings us up to have these different settings. You can adjust the brightness, the contrast, the DCR, sharpness. You can put it on eco mode. You can switch between the different sources, as I was saying. So if you wanted to connect this to several devices, you could have it like connected to 2 laptops as well as a PlayStation or something like that if you wanted to. Then we do have the different color temperatures and all the other settings within there. So definitely a lot you can mess around with on this monitor to really make it exactly how you want it to be. However, I think the colors and brightness straight out of the box are definitely good enough for most use cases. Another cool thing about this monitor is that using this same built-in stand, you can either have it in this kind of landscape mode, or you can pick it up and put it in a sort of portrait mode as well. So if depending on how you like your monitors laid out without having to unplug the cable or do anything, you as simple as just kind of taking it out of this mode and then turning it around. So it is very nice to be able to have this functionality built into the monitor. Again, this built-in stand is very nice and makes it even more convenient for carrying around. So it is very nice to be able to orient the monitor however you prefer. Another great feature of this monitor that not many others have is that it does have built-in speakers. We have some manuals, very nice to have, of course. And then we do have a, looks like mini HDMI to HDMI. So this will be what goes into the monitor. I wouldn't say they're the best speakers ever, but they're definitely comparable or maybe even a little better than a lot of Windows laptops. So I think they're definitely good enough. And overall, I think it's very impressive that they were even able to include speakers in such a compact monitor. So as far as portable monitors go, it's very easy to recommend this one. It's very thin and lightweight, as I mentioned, and the quality will be on par or better than most laptops you're using. The quality is very good. The colors are very good. It gets very bright. It has built-in speakers. It can be used with the built-in stand in either landscape or portrait mode, and it can be connected just by using one simple USB-C cable. The only complaint I could potentially find is that I do wish it came with some kind of covering for it so that you didn't have to worry about the screen getting scratched. However, that's pretty easily solved by either putting it in a safe spot in your backpack or getting one of those kind of laptop sleeves and storing it in that. So again, that's the only complaint I could find. Overall, it's still a very, very solid monitor. It's incredible image quality, it's very portable, very easy to set up and use, and overall it just kind of checks every box you could be looking for in a portable monitor.